Welcome. In this video, we're going to do an unboxing and go over the basics of how to play The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9. Down at the table, we'll go ahead and get the shrink wrap off. And take a look at the box. So we can see this is a game for 3 to 5 players, so don't expect a solo playthrough. Ages 10 and up, playtime about 20 minutes. Now, this does come with a 2-player variant. So, astronauts wanted. Scientists say there's a mysterious 9th planet located at the edge of our solar system, but despite all of their efforts, so far they have been unable to provide substantial evidence of its existence. Join this exciting space adventure to find out if the theories are just science fiction or if you will discover Planet 9. In this card game, you need to complete 50 different missions as you travel across the solar system, but you will only succeed if you can work together as a team. To master the challenge and achieve your mission, communication will be essential, but in space, things can be more challenging than expected. So this is a cooperative trick-taking game, so if you're a fan of spades or hearts or games like that, this might be something that will interest you. We'll go ahead and see what's in this small box. Obviously, we've got a rule book. Start reading here, page 11. Then we've got a logbook, flipping it over. So going over game materials, basics of gameplay, communication, which I assume is going to be limited in this, mission prep and sequence, degree of difficulty, and going over all the symbols. And playing with 5 and 2 players, tips and other variants. And then, of course, we have our mission. So there's going to be 50 missions in this book. And from what I understand, they've got plenty more on their website. So you need to pick your crew and go through this book. And if you succeed all the missions, you found the 9th planet. So with our components, see, I've already punched out some of them accidentally. So we've got some somewhat larger cards and smaller cards, different types of tokens. We'll finish punching those out. So this is the commander token for your first player. Got our distress signal, one-time use per mission. Communication tokens, all double-sided. And task tokens, whether we have to do them in a certain order or a very specific order. And the Omega. And then our cards. So for our larger cards, these are divided into 4 different suits from 1 to 9. So we've got blue 1 to 9, green 1 to 9, pink 1 to 9, and then a yellow 1 to 9. Then we have our trump suit or the rockets 1 to 4. And then some reminder cards for each of the players. We'll get over what they'll be used for in a bit. Then for our tasks, we're going to have smaller cards of each of the 4 suits from 1 to 9 of each of the colors. They're going to explain what our goals are going to be and how they're done and who's responsible for getting them done. For initial setup, you can just set these to the side, take all the large cards, and they'll be shuffled together. And once you've got those shuffled, you'll deal those out to each of the players, so assuming we've got a 4-player game. And then each person will look at their cards, and whoever has the 4 rocket ship will become the commander, first player. Of course, all these cards are going to be hidden information from the other players. And each player also gets 1 communication. And all these small task cards will then be shuffled and just placed off to the side. So just looking at the example setup log, it's going to give you some text, what number it is, if you get a distress signal, some other communications, and the number of tasks you need to complete and tokens needing to be used. So we'll just go through an example saying we have 3 tasks to be completed. So we're going to place 3 cards out. And we're going to assume we've got to do them in a particular order. So this needs to be the first trick taken, second trick taken, and third trick taken. If you've never played a trick taking game, basically what that means is one player is going to go first. They're going to play a card from their hand. We'll say we started here. Everyone else must follow suit, playing a card. And basically, if they have that color, they have to play it. If they don't have that color, they can play any card, and that card is not going to matter unless it's one of the rocket ships. That is trump, and we'll take everything else. So in this scenario, even though they played a 9 here, we'll pretend they played something smaller. So they played a 6. So in this example, it was led with green. These played the same suit. This one did not, even though this is a higher number. This person gets the trick, and they would keep that. Hypothetically, if this player had a trump card and played it, same scenario. This is still the higher card led. Trump wins, takes everything. So the trick would be taken by this one. So that's the basic of a trick-taking game. So what these goals represent is tricks that players have to take. So first player might look at their hand, go, well, there's no way I'm going to get that one. Could possibly get the 3, so slide that over and say that's going to be a goal they're going to take. Player 2, look at their hand, go, well, I've got the 5. Maybe I can win this one for myself. And then doesn't matter what this one's thinking about. It needs to take that card. So now these tricks need to be taken in this specific order. So this person needs to take the 5 first. Then the 3 of pink needs to be the second taken. And yellow 1 needs to be the third trick taken. As far as communication, the only thing you can do on your turn with these tokens, you can flip over one of your cards. So maybe here they want to communicate, hey, I've got the 5. So there's 3 ways they can communicate what this means. They can put the token at the top of the card, which means I have several green cards, and this is the highest numbered green I have. Or I only have 1 green card. Or I have several green cards, and this is the lowest one. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't work in this scenario. So maybe their best choice would be to say, hey, I've got the 3, and that's the only pink one I've got. And over here, they might look through their hand and go, uh-oh. I have an 8, and that is my only of that color. And they don't have to do this at the beginning of the game, but they do need to do it before cards are played on the table for each round. And over on this side of the board, no, they don't have any greens. They might communicate that they have a 5. They have several pinks, and that's the lowest they have, which is going to be good information for him to know. And we'll just say at the moment, he doesn't want to share any information, but he will playing first. So hypothetically, maybe he thinks, well, this is the first trick. I'm just going to play something super low. This player goes, well, I need the first trick. Hopefully the others can follow suit. This player looks in their hand, goes, I need to play less than a 5. And now everyone holds their breath. This guy has no green cards, and they got lucky, so he will just pitch a card as a throwaway, and the first trick taken is the 5 by the correct player, and all is good in the world. So you'll keep playing until either you meet all your mission goals or someone fails, and then you've got to try again. So basically these tokens up here have a very specific order of which cards need to be first, second, third, and fourth. What these mean, if they came out in something like this, say it came out in that order, this is just saying this card needs to be taken before this card. It can be taken before that one or after that one, or for that matter, after this one. It's just these two. This one needs to be taken before that one. And this symbol just means it needs to be the last trick taken. So the last thing to discuss is the distress signal. What this means is every player can pass up to one card either direction. Well, they have to decide on the direction. So they either need to pass one card to the left or to the right, and that's for everyone, and rockets cannot be passed. And that can typically only be used once per scenario. And then, of course, these cards, when you put down information, this is just to put a card in your hand to help you remember, hey, I've got another card, and it's laying down on the table. So that's the basics of everything in the crew game and the basics of how to play. Like I said, there's 50 scenarios in here that you need to get through, and they are going to start out rather easy and then get extremely difficult. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.